Hey y'all, happy December. Welcome back to my channel. It's Cherika Brown, of course. We're on another episode of Cherika Be Talking because I be talking. And on today's episode, we're just going to be talking about, is it really worth it? I was just thinking the past few days, I seen on the news and like just on TikTok and some other things where there was an incident where a girl and a boy was in traffic. Something happened. I don't know if they exchanged words or somebody blew the horn at the other person, but she followed the guy to a gas station or something and ended up ending his life. Now, I was just like, that is so crazy because the way people are going out these days are just so senseless. And the older I get, the more I understand how it's really not that deep and it's not really that serious. And I say this because I think growing up, especially being Black American, they put us in environments that honestly raise us to have to defend ourselves, have to look over our shoulder, and have animosity and, just always just be willing to go and, do whatever it may be or cause for. I don't think this particular young lady was a Black American young lady, but she could have very well grew up in the type of environments I am talking about because those type of environments aren't just for Black Americans, even though the bulk of us are placed in those environments strategically for those type of reasons to keep our mind trapped. And I've been a lot of places in my life. I met people all around the world. And where we come from in Atlanta, we have a word that's called lame. And we call a lot of stuff lame that ain't really lame when you really grow up and you grow your frontal lobe and you just become more mature. You realize that the lame stuff is really stuff that you should be doing or things or ways you should be moving. So I've met guys in my life where I'm like, yeah, you got to know how to defend me. And I still very much truly believe that if I'm with a guy, I got to feel safe with him and feel like that he can protect me. However, there is some people and some women in these environments that will think like if a man is unable to fight or he's not willing to fight or always wanting to fight, that he's not a protector. And it's just a stigma that was placed on us that is not a good thing because it's everything that God is not when I think about it. Like when we read the Bible, it tells us to hate evil, hate things that are bad, love what is good, do what is right. And the way we are brought up sometimes to think is the complete opposite of that. And it's not really how we are innately. It's something that we learn and something that we become. And it can honestly start costing us our lives in today's world. So where I'm at in life, I'm just learning to let people have it. Like I know I'm not scared of nobody, but if you want to pop off at the mouth and you want to be bad, I'm gonna be scared of you. I'm gonna be scared. I'm gonna allow you to have it because it's not that deep. It's not that serious. And when you meet those people, like I said, I've met people all around the world. You meet those people where you ask them questions like, you just let them say that to you. You'll let them, and they like, listen, somebody got to literally be physically putting their hands on me for me to do anything. I'm not affected by somebody's words. I'm not affected. And especially with girls like myself who grew up with a dad who don't play the radio. So it's like, his look alone, men are not going to try us because they're like intimidated just by how he looks. So if we're just walking around, I'm not going to think a man is just going to say something wrong to us because my daddy don't look like the lame or the square that we said that will just allow something to happen in his presence and he not do anything. So it's like sometimes you ask guys those questions in hopes that they are the type that will just walk around with a certain persona or something. And that's just not some people. And it's not to say that a person is lame or a punk or square and all of this and that. There are some people that are just that lame because they just allow people to do whatever, whenever to them. But we also have to understand that some people are just not fighters. Everybody aren't fighters and everybody wasn't raised to be fighters. And honestly, in today's world, that can really save you because what can a word or a look or anything honestly do to threaten your life? Like, is it really worth it? And I'm just at a point where I just was what made me make this video is I was just leaving from working out, and I was sitting in traffic with my mom, and it was a car next to me. I'm in the driver's seat, and then a car behind the car next to me, and they just laying on the horn, laying on the horn, laying on the horn at the people. The light had just turned green, and they just looking like, what? But the people looked at me because I looked over because I'm like, where's that, coming from? But we locked eyes. They thinking like possibly that I'm blowing the horn, but I'm looking for the horn. And I'm like, see, stuff like this. What if they thought I was the one laying on the horn at them? Or, they know I wasn't because I was beside them. I wasn't behind them or anything. I had no reason to be laying the horn on them. But I'm like, what if they just started shooting at each other or something, in this moment? Because that's the mental state people are in these days. It's a very dangerous state to be in. And I just want to tell people now that it's not worth it. It's not that deep. Like, there are a lot of spirits that you're going to encounter in this world, just walking in the world day by day. You don't know what people are going through. You don't know what their mental health status is. You just don't know. And if you know that you are sane and you need to practice self-control, which is a fruit of the spirit, you need to start practicing self-control for sure. Because even if someone else is not mentally there, you are mentally there to the point where you can decide that you can de-escalate a situation just by simply not responding. And it has nothing to do about being scary or being fearful. We have to get rid of those stigmas that were, ingrained in us basically to hold us back. A lot of times, those environments, like I said, they even prevent us from getting opportunities. The type of people that I've met in life and the people I've known, you'll be mind blown because you'll think like, wow, like you're supposed to be like up here, or up there, it's like it's to the point where it's like we're so stubborn that we don't want to ask for help. We want to just do everything on our own. We hold ourselves back. We think everybody up. We think everybody got an issue, want to set everybody straight. And it's just a bad chain that we have to break in order to elevate in life. And I hope we can get there as a people. And I hope even if we can't get there as a whole, that you start to see those little bad traits that you may have in yourself and start realizing it's not that deep. And just you'll see how fulfilled you feel by just not always feeling like you gotta defend yourself and everybody are up and everybody trying you and you're gonna show them not to try you. And I promise y'all, it's not worth it. And it's definitely not worth your life. So reevaluate your actions and how you are interacting with other people and strangers outside in the real world, and just make some changes. Make small changes that will possibly make a big difference. But y'all know I'll be back because I'll be talking. Peace.